What's up, everybody? And welcome to another edition of High Mythology, the show where we get higher than a mallard duck flying away from a 50-foot coyote dick.
Hashtag fishing for dicks.
Fishing for dicks. I'm going fishing for dicks. We tell you guys silly stories from mythology and folklore. Tonight we will be bringing you our Native American Tales of Tricksters, Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
One more to go after this.
They're not interconnected, so don't feel bad. You know, don't feel like you have to turn this off because you don't want spoilers.
Yeah,
because they're not connected,
stories,
but they're all great trickster tales on their own, and there's a lot of silly stuff. I guess the important thing to take from the first one would be Coyote Fucks
and his spider friend. Yeah, I'm gonna warn you. It starts out normal, and then it just takes a hard right. You just feel like you're going 35 miles an hour, just casual down the road, and all of a sudden, boom! Here's your turn.
Boom.
You're like, fuck! I can't even stop on the brakes. I'm
going for it. This DT. Well, I guess this is what we're doing with our life.
You're not a pussy, and you don't just stop halfway and then fucking back up traffic.
You're on a road trip right now. You're in the car, and you're thinking, God damn! I put this on, and the kids are listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just warn you, and then we're going to go normal again for a little bit, and then it just again.
Yeah, just warning you.
Yeah, the intro will
prepare
yourself.
Sense. Yeah.
In the last story 9.
Story 9. We're doing 9 stories. Hot damn on a log.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so
I guess
it's gonna be a nice long one. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy. I like how you sped it up there once you pointed out, like, we've got 9 to get through. So we're gonna just go ahead and move along real quick, and we're moving along right now. And let's go.
Doing this. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Without further ado, Kimbo, go ahead and take it away. We got story number 1 coming at you. Turkey makes corn and coyote plants it, by the White Mountain Apache.
Yes. Okay. Long ago, when all the animals talked like people, Turkey overheard a boy begging for his sister for food. He asked the girl, sorry.
Interesting story.
He asked the girl, sorry.
What did your little brother want?
She said, "He's hungry, but we have nothing to eat." When Turkey heard this, he shook himself all over. Many kinds of fruits and wild food dropped out of his body, and the brother and sister ate these up.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Turkey shook himself again, and a variety of corn that is very large dropped out of his feathers.
Let me guess. They gobbled it up.
He shook himself a third time, and yellow corn dropped out. And when he shook himself a fourth time, white corn dropped out. Bear came over to Turkey and told him,
I got nothing. You know?
Turkey told him.
Haha. Run from my sister and my brother over there. Blah, 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 blah.
What?
Blah, 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 blah. Turkey.
And Bear said,
You can only shake it 4 times to make food come out of you. But I have every kind of food on me from head to foot.
Bear shook himself, and out of his fur dropped juniper berries. He shook himself again, and out dropped a cactus that was good to eat. Then he shook out acorns, and then another kind of cactus. And then gamble oak, acorns. And then blue acorns, and then pecan nuts. And then spices of sumac, and then manzanita berries,
Ooh.
And then wild mulberries, and then sugaru fruit.
Ooh, I'm getting hungry.
Turkey said to the boy and girl,
I have 4 kinds of corn seed here for you, and this is a good place to plant them.
The sister and brother cut digging sticks and made holes with them. In the holes, they planted all their corn seed. The next day, the corn had already come up and was about 1.5 feet high. The girl said, "We still have some squash seeds here." And so they planted them too. The boy and the girl asked Turkey for more corn seeds. "The corn is coming up nicely. So we want to make another farm and go plant some more corn." There. Turkey gave them the seeds and they left him to look after their first fields while they started off to make another farm. When they came back, they heard Turkey hollering at the cornfield. They ran down there and saw him dragging one of his wings along the ground on the side towards them. There were snakes on the other side of him, and he pretended to have a broken wing to lure the snakes away and shield the boy and girl. The squash plants had young squash on them, and the corn had grown tall and formed ears and tassels. The tassels had pollen in them, and the snakes had come to gather the pollen out of the corn plants.
Do snakes do that?
Yeah. They sure do.
Damn, I didn't know that. I thought they just, ate mice and shit.
They do that too.
They do that too, yeah.
Yeah. They also help pollinate the...
They just rub up in the pollen.
Yeah. And they move over to the other one.
Pollen.
It's pretty wild, actually. Turkey told the boy and girl to stay away from the corn for 4 days, and the snakes would be finished. At the end of 4 days, the corn was ripe, and Turkey told them,
"This will be the only time when the corn will come up in 4 days. From now on, it'll take quite a while." Blah, blah, blah.
And it does. By now, the brother and sister had planted corn 3 times, and they gave seeds to the other people. Then Slim Coyote came and asked for some, saying,
"The corn you planted is growing well, and the ears are coming out on it. I'd like to have some seeds to plant for myself, Turkey."
Coyote would have to do lots of work if he wanted to raise his corn, but that wasn't his plan. He said to himself,
"These other people here plant the corn, and after it's grown, they have to cook it. Me, I'm not going to do it that way. I'll cook my corn first and then plant it, so I won't have to bother to cook it after it's ripe."
Here's where Coyote made a big mistake. He cooked his corn, ate some, and planted quite a patch of the rest. He felt pretty good about it. And he said,
"Now I've done well for myself. You people have to cook your corn after you plant it, but mine will already be cooked, you sorry sons of bitches. Bask in my glory.
Suck my nuts.
Suck my giant coyote nuts."
After planting, he went off with the rest of the people to gather acorns. But when they returned to their fields, Coyote had nothing growing on it at all. He said angrily,
"You people must have taken the hearts out of the corn seeds you gave me."
"No, we didn't do that," they told him. "But you cooked the heart out of them before you planted them, you fool."
"Damn you, vile creatures."
Coyote asked for some more seeds and planted them the right way this time. So his corn grew. The day after he planted it, it was about 1.5 feet. He felt good. The people who had planted their corn at the beginning were harvesting it now and tying it up into bundles. Coyote saw these and wanted some. People got mad at Coyote because he was always asking them for corn.
"Give me corn, you sorry sack of shit,"
he would say.
"I just wanted some green ears to feed my children. As soon as my corn is ripe, I will pay you back."
The other people had all their corn in and stripped now, but their squashes were still growing in the fields. Coyote stole their squash, and the people all came to his camp. They wanted to know if he was the one who was stealing their squash. Coyote pretended to get angry and said,
"You're always blaming me for stealing everything. There are lots of camps over there. What do you have to choose mine to come with your accusations? Don't mind this giant bushel of squash behind me and a sinister laugh."
But the people knew about Coyote's thieving ways.
"It's obvious that you stole it."
They said, "From now on, Don't make your farm near us. Move away and live someplace else. Stick out of tongue. Sorry. I'm sure you don't understand. Coyote says,
All right, but there are several of you that I was going to repay with corn and with cash from my gambling debts, but I won't do that now that you've treated me this way.
so Coyote's family lived poorly, and they never bothered to cook anything before they ate it. The end.
The,
But you have the star.
Ooh, that was based on Grenville Goodwin's version of 1939 again. The White Mountain Apache Tribe. I wasn't supposed to read again, but I read what's on the teleprompter, damn it.
You're
Woo!
pretty fucking high, aren't you?
I'm pretty high, yeah.
You're just reading off the teleprompter.
Just reading off the teleprompter. So yeah, let's move on to story number 2. Story number 2. How the people got arrowheads from the Shasta tribe.
Yes. Should we mention where Shasta is?
Shasta, that's the beverage.
Actually, I don't even know this. I'm sorry.
It's from the Shasta tribe. You shouldn't have told anyone because they wouldn't have known that you didn't know until you said you didn't know, Kim.
They're a group of small tribes in northern California near Calumet River and in the Mount Shasta Valley. I know where that is, actually.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of silly. Mount Shasta, I know where that's at.
I just didn't put two and two together.
We should have led with Mount Shasta and then, worked our way back from there.
Okay. Sorry.
That probably ties in. I went straight for the soda.
In the days when the people first lived, they used to go hunting with arrows and had pine bark points. They did not know where to get obsidian, or they would have used it. For obsidian made a sharp and deadly point, which always killed the animals that were shot.
And the White Walkers. Let's not forget. Dragon glass up in this motherfucker.
Ground Squirrel was the only one who knew that Obsidian Old Man lived in the Medicine Lake, and one day he set out to steal some obsidian. Taking a basket filled with roots, he went into Obsidian Old Man's house and offered him some. Obsidian Old Man ate the roots and liked them so much that he sent Ground Squirrel out to get some more. While Ground Squirrel was digging for them, Grizzly Bear came along. Grizzly Bear said,
"Oh, hey there, sit down. Let me sit in your lap and, feed me those roots by the handful."
Ground Squirrel was very much afraid of a huge grizzly bear, so he did as he was told. The grizzly bear gobbled up the roots and got up. He said,
"How'd he sit in the squirrel's lap?"
I know.
How big is the squirrel or how small is the bear?
You'll find out.
Oh, yeah, well, Obsidian Old Man's mother there used to clean the roots for someone,
As he went away.
Bye there. Thanks for feeding me the roots, tickling my backside.
Ground Squirrel returned to Obsidian Old Man, but there was only a few roots left to give him. Ground Squirrel told him what the grizzly bear had done and what he had said as he departed. Obsidian Old Man was extremely angry at the insult of his dead mother.
And what did he say when he left? Oh, yeah, saying she cleaned roots. I get it now, so it was an insult. Yeah, tell the old man Obsidian over there that his mother used to polish knobs down at the truck stop.
Well, that's what she's doing now. Remember, she's dead. So she would be cleaning roots, right?
Oh, damn, that's hard. That is hard. That is a hard dish.
I got you.
Oh, damn, I didn't even get that one. Whew. That is stone cold, Bear. Stone cold.
That's the meanest Canadian I've ever met.
Oh, hey there, don't you know your mother died and now she's down there in the ground just soaking up the roots, so have a nice day. Sorry.
He said,
"Well, tomorrow we'll both go and find roots."
So early next morning, they set off. Obsidian Old Man hid near the place where Ground Squirrel started digging. Soon, Ground Squirrel's basket was filled, and then along came Grizzly Bear and said,
"Oh, hey there, partner. You dug all these roots up for me? Why don't you go ahead and sit down there?"
So Ground Squirrel sat down, and as he had the day before, and fed Grizzly Bear roots by the handful.
Nom, nom, nom.
But just then, Grizzly Bear saw Obsidian Old Man draw near, and the bear got up to fight. At each other...
Oh, I'll fight you.
Oh, excuse me. At each blow, a great slice of the grizzly's flesh was cut off by the sharp obsidian. Grizzly Bear kept fighting till he was all cut up into pieces, and then he fell dead.
Meh.
So Ground Squirrel and Obsidian Old Man went home and ate the roots and were happy. Early next morning, Obsidian Old Man was awakened by Ground Squirrel's groaning, and he said,
"I am sick. I am bruised because that great fellow sat upon me. Really, I'm sick."
Obsidian...
I'm sick.
Obsidian Old Man was sorry for Ground Squirrel. He said to himself,
"I'll go and get the wood, but I'll watch him, for he may be fooling me. These people are very clever."
So he went for wood, and on the way he thought,
"I'd better go back and look."
When he crept back softly and peeped in, he saw Ground Squirrel there lying and groaning. Obsidian Old Man said to himself,
He really is sick.
and went off in earnest this time for wood. But Ground Squirrel was very clever, and he had been fooling all this time. As soon as Obsidian Old Man was far enough away, he got up, taking all the obsidian points and tying them up in a bundle, he ran off. As soon as Obsidian Old Man returned, he missed Ground Squirrel, and he dropped the wood, ran after him, and almost caught him. But Ground Squirrel ran into a hole in the ground, and as he went, he kicked the earth into the eyes of the old man, who was digging fast trying to catch him. But after a while, Obsidian Old Man gave up and left. Ground Squirrel came out on the other end of the hole, crossed the lake, and went home. He emptied the bundle of points on the ground and distributed them to everyone. All day long, the people worked, tying them onto the arrows and they threw away all the old bark points. And when they went hunting, they used the new arrow points and killed a great many deer.
Sweet.
The end.
The end. I like to think Obsidian Man is still out there roaming the woods. Just some horrific old man covered in obsidian. So that was from the Shasta tribe, based on a tale recorded by E.W. Gifford in 1930. Yeah.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, moving on and moving up. Story 3. This one has caught my eye just from the title. I will say that. Coyote fights a lump of pitch from the White Mountain Apache.
Even long ago, when our tribe and animals and birds lived together near white people, Coyote was always in trouble. He would visit amongst the camps, staying in one for a while and then moving on. And when he stayed at Bear's camp, he used to go over at night to a white man's field and steal the ears off the wheat. When the white man who owned the farm found out what Coyote was up to, he trailed him along enough to locate his path into the field. He then called out all the white men to a council, and they made a figure of pitch just like a man and placed it in Coyote's path. That night, when Coyote went back to steal the wheat again, he saw the pitch man standing there. Thinking it was a real person, he said,
"Gray Eyes, get to one side and let me by. I just want a little wheat. Get over, I tell you."
He always talks like a Chiricahua Apache. The pitch man stayed where he was, and Coyote said,
"I swear to God, man, if you don't move, you'll get my fist in my face and in my boot in your crotch. Wherever I go on this earth, if I hit a man with my fist, it kills him, I swear."
Did I write Fist in my face.
Fist in my face. Fist in your face.
Is that what
I will put my own fist in my face to show you how tough I am.
The pitchman never stirred. And so Coyote said,
I will do it. I will. You son of a bitch. I will hit you.
So Coyote struck out, but his fist got stuck fast into the pitch, clear to his elbow. Coyote cries,
Some Looney Tunes shit. What's the matter? Why have you caught my hand? Let me go. Turn me loose so you'll get my other fist. If I hit a man with that one, it knocks all his wits out. So you'll be dead and witless. Just let me go.
Then Coyote punched with his other fist, and this arm got stuck in the pitch also.
Oh, no.
But now he was standing on his two hind legs.
Merely a flesh wound.
Coyote says,
That's it. Quit fighting like this. You're fighting like a little bitch. Fight me like a man. I'm going to kick you if you keep holding me, and I'll knock you over, I will.
Coyote delivered a powerful kick, and his leg went into the pitch and got
Karate
stuck.
kick.
Then he said,
This last leg I have is even worse. It's the one from Karate Kid. And you're going to get it, you will, pitchman.
and he kicked, and his leg got stuck into the pitch.
Merely a flesh wound.
Now Coyote's legs were fast in the pitch. Only his tail was free. He said,
Merely a flesh wound. Why, if I whip you with my tail, it will cut you in two. I may be exaggerating my tail skills, but still, have at thee.
But the pitchman just stood there. Coyote lashed the pitch with his tail and got it stuck also. Only his head was free now.
Not
But it was
cool.
still talking with it, saying,
Why do you hold me this way? I swear I will bite you in the neck and kill you, so you better turn me loose. Merely a flesh wound.
When the pitch did nothing, Coyote bit it and got his mouth stuck, and there he was. In the morning, the farmer put a chain around Coyote's neck and took him out of the pitch, and he led him to the house. He said to his family,
This is the one who's been stealing from me, guys. This Coyote.
The white people held a meeting and discussed what they should do with Coyote.
White
They
people
decided-
do hold a lot of meetings. I'll give them that.
They do. They decided to put him into a pot of boiling water and scald him. So the rest of the water, so they set the water on the heat and tied Coyote up at the side of the house. But pretty soon Coyote saw Gray Fox coming along, loafing around in the farmer's yard, looking for something to steal from the white man. Coyote called over to him.
Fuck Whitey. Fuck Whitey, my cousin. There are lots of things cooking for me in that pot.
Though, of course, the pot was only heating water to scald him, he continued to say,
There are potatoes, coffee, bread, and all kinds of food for me. Those don't even all go together in a pot, Coyote. Come on. It'll soon be done.
Sounds delicious, though.
And those cracker-ass honkies over there are going to bring them to me. You and I can eat them together, but you must help me first. Can you put this chain around your neck while I go and piss on that bush back there?
The fox agreed, and taking the chain off Coyote, put it
Sure.
on his own neck. As soon as Coyote was out of sight behind the bush, he ran off. After a while, the water was good and hot, and the white man came out to the gray fox and said,
Well, hot damn, Cletus, he seems so little. What happened? Oh, he must have shrunk, I guess.
So they lifted him up and threw him into the pot. Now the hot water boiled off his hair, leaving Gray Fox bright red and hairless. They took off the chain and threw him under a tree, where he laid motionless until evening. When it got dark and cold, he woke up and started off. After a while, Gray Fox came to a bear's camp and asked,
Where's Coyote?
Bear replied that Coyote went away for his water to some spring above the bear's camp at midnight. So Gray Fox ran off to the spring and hid himself. And at midnight, Coyote came, as usual, to the spring. But when he put his head to the water to drink, Great Fox jumped him and said,
"Now I'm gonna kill you and eat you."
The moon was shining from the sky down on the water, and Coyote pointed to its reflection and replied,
"Don't talk like that when we can both eat this delicious ash bread down there, and all we have to do is drink all the water, and then we can take the bread out and have a feast."
And they both started to lap up the water, but soon Coyote was merely pretending to drink, and Gray Fox drinks a lot. And when he was full, he got cold, and then Coyote said,
"My cousin, some white people left a camp over here. Those honky-ass crackers didn't even put out the campfire. How stupid of them. Smokey the Bear will have their asses. And I'm going to look for some old rags or quilts to wrap you up in. Wait for me here."
And so Coyote started off, and as soon as he was out of sight, he ran away.
"Deuces, bitch."
The end.
The end. Coyote just failed. That's not when the fox is still there waiting for Coyote.
Yep. Like a dick.
Like a tick. "I'm going to get a blanket. Don't follow me into the woods. Don't bother me."
I'm just going out for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, "I'm going out for a pack of cigarettes, Junior. I shall return."
All right, so here's the story that we're going to take a sharp left.
Sharp left turn here, guys. Oh yeah, that was the based on Grenville Goodwin's Give Up 1939 version from the White Mountain Apache tribe. That's what's important.
Grenville Goodwin.
Grenville Goodwin.
That's an interesting name.
Grenville Goodwin. Oh, Iktomi. Hey, we love Iktomi. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just all getting excited. Yeah, fuck you, Iktomi. Yeah, story number 4. Iktomi and the Ignorant Girl. We don't like Iktomi, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, no.
It's Coyote's his best guy, you know what I mean? I get if you like Tricksters.
Oh, no.
And you're okay getting finger banged by 8 arms.
Oh, hey. Iktomi's a spider. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Jesus.
Well, I guess you'd
I
have
don't
to use
remember
his
what
toes.
voice I gave him, so I'm going to have to improvise, guys.
It happens. I think you had a Spanish voice right now.
I think I did.
Okay. Who was it by?
Oh, Iktomi and the Ignorant Girl by the Brule Sioux tribe.
A pretty Winchinchalla had never been with a man yet, and Iktomi was eager to sleep with her. He dressed himself up like a woman and went looking for the girl. He found her about to cross a stream, and he said,
"Hoi, Bishake, how are you, friend? Let's wade across together."
They lifted their robes and stepped into the water. The girl said to Iktomi,
"Honey, you have very hairy legs."
Iktomi says,
"Oh, Boof, that's because I'm older. When women get older, some are like this."
The water got deeper and they lifted their robes higher. The Winchinchalla said to Iktomi,
"Damn, girl, you have some dumps on you." Yeah, dumps. I said it. There's a lot of junk in that trunk, if you know what I mean.
You got a hairy backside?
Oh, it's very hairy. Oh, you have it's also very hairy. I like the shape of it, but the hair is very disturbing. This is a very disturbing amount of hair for a lady to have. And I should know because I am a lady.
Iktomi answered,
"Oh, yes, some of us are like that."
The water got still deeper and they lifted their robes up very high. And the girl, who had never seen a naked man, asked,
"Oh my, it's very strange that you have such a big, huge, dangling cock just floating there in the water. I don't have one of those personally. You could check."
Iktomi complained.
Oh, it's a kind of growth, like a large wart.
The girl said,
Oh yeah, well that's very large for a wart. I'd say that's above average compared to the other warts that I've seen around the places.
Iktomi says,
Oh yes, ma, an evil magician wished it on me. It's cumbersome. It's so heavy it hurts my back. It gets in the way. How I wish to be rid of it. Biff.
the girl said,
Oh well, sister, I pity you. I could cut the thing off for you if you want.
Iktomi says,
No, my younger sister. There's only one way to get rid of it, because the evil growth was put there by a sorcerer.
the girl asks,
Oh, what is this way that you want me to get rid of it? Are you gonna ask me to like rub it or spit on it or something?
Iktomi says,
Misaki, the only way to get rid of it is to stick it in there between your legs.
the girl asks,
No, is that so? Well, I guess women should help each other out, and I've stuck all kinds of things in there anyway. Just mind the condom full of cocaine on your way in.
Iktomi says,
Oh, yes, Pearman. Thank you. You're very kind. Let's get outside of the water and go over there where the grass is soft.
oh my god. Spider-Man.
Just read by.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
made the girl lie down on the grass and got on top of her and entered her. The girl says,
Oh my, it sure is big. It kind of hurts a little. Did you knock something loose in there? Did I already have that roll of quarters still up there?
Iktomi says, breathing hard.
That guy must hurt me.
The girl says,
Oh, well, it hurts a little bit less now. I can kind of barely feel it.
and Iktomi finished and got off the girl. The Winchinchala looked and said,
Chinchilla?
yeah, that's her name.
Oh,
Winchinchala.
Indeed. It already seems to be getting smaller.
The Spider-Man answered,
Oh, yes, but not small enough yet. This is hard work. Let me catch my breath, then we must try it again.
and after a while he got on top of the girl once more. The ignorant Winchinchala said,
Well, it's really not that bad at all. You don't mind if I smoke while you're doing this, do you? I haven't had a cigarette in a while, so I'm just gonna spark up a cigarette and kind of just drift off, think about my own thing. It does feel like it's bigger than before. It's indeed some powerful magic.
Iktomi did not answer her. He was busy. He finished, and he rolled off. The girl said,
Well, there's little improvement.
Iktomi
Wait,
answered,
where's the... What was that, 35 seconds? Jesus Christ, man.
Iktomi answered,
We must be patient and persevere. We must persevere.
So after a while, they went at it again. The girl asked Iktomi,
Well, does it still hurt you very much, Mishake? Because you look like you're kind of just winded and out of breath at this point. You're really pushing rope down there.
Iktomi answered,
Oh my, yes. But I am strong and brave. I can bear it.
the girl says,
Oh yeah, I can bear it too. Oh.
oh my god, I lost my place.
Oh. Oh yeah.
The girl said after they did it a fourth time,
It really isn't altogether unpleasant, but I must tell you, elder sister, I don't believe you'll ever get rid of this strange thing. It doesn't seem to go anywhere.
the Spider-Man answered,
I have my doubts, too.
The ignorant Winchinchala says,
Well, one could get used to it, so,
Iktomi answered,
Yes, Miss Cricker. One must make the best of it. But let's try once more, just to be sure.
The end.
You better last more than 35 seconds this time, you chump piece of shit. That was... that one was told in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and recorded by Richard Earduce from the Brule or Brule Sioux tribe. Yes. Holy Tome. Just banging away. Man. Yeah. I like his excuse to. I said not. It's the only way it goes away. This is straight out of poorly written porn. we went from a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon to a really like a Cinemax porn. I've got this growth that it won't go away unless we put it there. I have a pizza here for you, extra sausage. So yeah, we're moving on to story number 5.
Heyo.
Coyote chases the white rabbit. Coyote's rabbit chase. Coyote gets addicted to heroin. Coyote's rabbit chase by the Tiwa tribe.
That's actually a local tribe.
Oh yeah, nearby.
I was just looking at. So the Tiwa are a group of Pueblo Indians related by language, and today they live in 6 villages near the Rio Grande, all north of Santa Fe, namely the Nambe, Pojaque, Tesuque, San Ildefonso, Santa Clara, and San Juan, which is near us.
San Juan.
According to the legend, the Tiwa entered this world by ascending from Sipofene, a mystical place beneath a lake. In some Tiwa villagers, it is said that the people climbed up a Douglas fir rising out of the lake, and that the first one up was a Poseyum Yemu, the Tiwa culture hero. A supernatural being, hero. Sometimes called the son of the sun, who taught the art of living to the people.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fucking interesting. I want to look at that up. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that.
Isn't that nice?
The more you know.
Yes. Coyote got up early one morning, feeling unusually full of pep. He trotted along the ridge of a wash just as the sun was beginning to appear on the distant horizon, and as he ran, he spotted a small, lumbering figure moving slowly below him. He looped down to see who it was and recognized Badger. He called, "Greetings, brother," and quietly Badger wished him a good morning. Coyote had already hatched a plan to get the best of Badger, so as the two paused to visit, Coyote said,
"Brother, it's such a fine day. We shouldn't waste it just wandering around. Why don't we have a contest, a little wager, or wager, for a badger? Let's each spend the day hunting rabbits, and at sunset we'll return to the spot with our catch. Whoever kills the most rabbits gets to spend the night with the other's wife. What do you say, Brother Badger? Shall I fuck your wife?"
At first, Badger did not think it was such a good idea, but fearing that Coyote would call him a coward, he accepted. As the two set out in opposite directions, Coyote felt that there was no way that he could lose. While he ran, he imagined how it would be to spend the night with Badger Woman. And after a while, he spotted a jackrabbit nibbling grass in a shady spot. He took after it, yelling.
So I do have to ask the question, like, does Badger just have a hot wife or something? It's like the Roger Rabbit scenario, like he's got a Jessica Rabbit at home.
Who knows?
Meet Mrs. Badger over here.
Right.
she's Playboy's cover model.
For real.
Okay, Coyote, yeah.
Yep.
Now the jackrabbit had also just emerged from his hole, and he was too full on pepin this very morning, too. He led Coyote a merry day-long chase up and down washes and over hills and through forests. Coyote was serenely confident, thinking,
This jackrabbit should be all I need to beat old Badger. So slow, so cumbersome, so nearsighted. I doubt whether he'd catch anything if he had a whole year.
In this fashion, the day slowly waned, and just before sunset, Coyote finally wore the jackrabbit down and caught it. He hurried back to the rendezvous with Badger, feeling quite sure of himself. Meanwhile, Badger had hatched a plan of his own. Soon after their parting, he hurried to a system of rabbit holes that he knew was nearby, and the first one he began to dig with his powerful claws and muscles, and in short order he caught several half-sleeping rabbits, and by the time he made his way through the entire tunnel system, he had 12 of them. These he laid out in a row above the tunnels as fast as he had caught them, so while Coyote was just running around to catch the jackrabbit, Badger had already caught 12 rabbits. Badger leisurely took several trips to carry his catch to the rendezvous, and then he searched until he found a spot of shade to wait for Coyote. He was surprised when Coyote appeared, worn out and dripping with precipitation, carrying one jackrabbit.
Perspiration.
Thank you. That's so bad that. Thank you.
He was raining. Coyote
Raining
was making
sweat.
it rain.
With sweat. When Coyote spotted Badger's catch, he realized that his trick had backfired.
Oh no.
That night, Coyote had to remain outside his own den, while Badger made endless love to his wife. Throughout the night of these love-making sessions were marked with howls of pain from Coyote Woman, because Badger has a drill-shaped penis which hurt her terribly. Coyote didn't sleep at all that night, and the next morning his wife, very sore from the excursions of the evening, said,
Old man, you think you're so smart. You lose contests, and I have to pay for your stupidity. Now go get some ice for my anus.
That is it.
Translated from the Tiwa Trap by Alfonso Ortiz. Yeah. That was a fun story. Coyote,
sorry.
like I said in the beginning, guys, Coyote fucks.
Yep.
He does. That's just part of what he does.
Badger fucks
I guess
his wife.
Badger does too, huh? Badger being the old Coyote lady. I bet she was playing it up.
I don't
It's
know.
because his penis vibrates. Oh yeah, no, it's super sore in here, babe. You're gonna need to give me
Sounds
another
terrible
hour.
to be drill shaped, dude.
Drill shaped.
Fucking, I do
All
not like
penises
power
are
tools near
drill-shaped.
my vagina, but thank you.
It's a torque wrench. Okay, yeah. Moving on. Coyote takes water from the frog people, or the Kalapuya tribe.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that's up in
Up in
North.
here.
North.
Up in here.
I feel like I need to let you know anything about them.
What do we know?
Beach at the north
Willamette
side of the
Valley.
river. Vancouver Island.
Yeah, up north. Pacific Northwest.
Oh, that's my area. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just know.
Jesus, kid.
Layla, it's
Jesus.
just a merge shit.
That's
I'm terrible.
Yeah, you're horrible. Horrible.
Sorry, it's been a long week.
Moving on.
Coyote was out hunting and he found a deer. One of the deer ribs bones looked just like a big dentalia shell. And Coyote picked it up and took it with him. He went up to see the frog people, and the frog people had all the water. When anyone wanted any water to drink or cook with or to wash, they had to go and get it from the frog people. Coyote come up and said,
Hey, frog people! I have a big gentilia shell and I want a drink of fucking water. I want to drink for a long time.
The frog people said,
Ribbit. Yeah, give us that shell and you can drink all you want.
Coyote gave them the shell and began drinking. The water was behind a large dam where Coyote drank. And Coyote said,
I'm going to keep my head down for a long time because I'm really thirsty. Don't worry about me or pay any attention to what I'm doing.
The frog people said.
Yeah, Ribbit. Okay, don't worry.
Coyote began drinking. He drank for a long time, and finally one of the frog people said,
Ribbit. Hey, Coyote. You sure you're drinking a lot of water there? What are you doing that for?
Coyote brought his head up out of the water and said,
Fuck off, I'm thirsty. Don't bother me when I'm drinking.
After a while, one of the frog people said,
Ribbit, Coyote, you sure are drinking a lot. Maybe, I think you're gonna owe us another shell.
and Coyote said,
Fuck you, you peasant. Just let me finish this goddamn drink in peace.
and putting his head back underwater. The frog people wondered how a person could drink so much water. They didn't like this. They thought Coyote must be doing something, and Coyote was indeed digging out under the dam. All this time he had his head under the water. When he had finished, he stood up and said,
That was a good drink. That was exactly what I needed.
and then the dam collapsed, and the water went out into the valleys and made the creeks and the rivers and the waterfalls. The frog people were very angry and yelling,
Ribbit, fuck you, Coyote. You took all the goddamn water.
and Coyote says,
It is not right that one people have all the water. Now there, everyone can have it equally, my evil plan.
and Coyote did that.
Yeah, really,
Now
that's
everyone
not
can go
evil.
down to the river and get a drink of water or some water to cook with or just swim around.
Or get some dysentery or a staph infection.
The end.
The end. Yeah. Good story. More coyote action. Told by Barry Lopez, 1977, from the Calapuya tribe. Woo. Whoop, whoop, woo. Now story number 7. We're moving on, and we're kicking it back to a character we've talked about a while ago. Glooskap from the Algonquin tribe. The story's called Glooskap Grants 3 Wishes by the Algonquin tribe. So let's kick it off.
Do I talk about it?
I hope so. Or is that just the whole story? Was the title of the whole story? Glooskap grants 3 wishes. The story is Glooskap granted 3 wishes. The end.
Oh, shit. Okay, so this is a huge... the largest group of linguistically related tribes
Oh, the
North
Algonquin?
America.
Yeah.
North America. And it's scattered over the whole continent from the Atlantic to the Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And they include a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. They were basically America before white people came over and said there was no civilized group that was America. I mean, they weren't like America, but they were a large portion of the Northeast.
That's so
all
crazy.
the way to the middle of the country. And because there was the Algonquin, there was the Iroquois Nation. Yeah. All those.
Wow. Okay. So they say even the great Glooskap can behave like a trickster, especially when the people ask him for frivolous.
You don't go asking Glooskap for frivolous things.
All right, okay. When men had heard that Glooskap, the lord of men and beasts, would grant a wish to anyone who would come to him, 3 Indians resolved to attempt the journey. One was a Malecite from St. John, and the other 2 were Penobscots from Old Town. The path was long and the way was hard, and they suffered much during the 7 years it took them. But while they were still 3 months' journey from his home, they heard the barking of his dogs, and they drew nearer day by day. The noise was louder, and then so after many great trials, they found him, and he made them welcome and entertained them. Before they went, he asked them what they wanted. Well, that's something on my sorry.
The fuck do you want?
And the eldest, an honest, simple man with no standing at home, because he was a bad hunter, said he wanted to be a master at catching and killing game. And then Glooskap gave him a flute, or a magic pipe, which pleased every ear and had the power of persuading every animal to follow him who plays it. The man thanked the Lord and left. The second Indian, on being asked what he would have, replied, "Ho ho, the love of many women, yes?" And when Glooskap asked how many, he said, "I do not care, just as enough to the more than enough, yes."
A barrel of poontang, please, sir.
The god seemed displeased to hear this, but smiling, gave the man a bag which was tightly tied and told him not to open it until he reached home. So the second Indian thanked the Lord and left. The third Indian was a gay and handsome but foolish young fellow, whose whole heart was set on making people laugh. That's you. When asked
That's you.
When asked what he chiefly wanted, he said that he would like to be able to make a certain quaint and marvelous sound, like breaking wind or belching, which
I
was...
just want to be able to just if I could just like that squeaker fart, like the... I can't get the squeak.
You know, when you barely pass that gas, you just got like a needle air bubble.
Yeah, just a...
Which was frequently heard in those primitive times amongst the Wabanaki.
They make a lot of fart noises. Hey, check this out. I call it armpit fart.
Sorry.
It is crazy to think about living so long ago that you could literally be the one to like come up with that.
The first joke.
I gotta show everyone. Guys, check this out.
As he's putting his arm.
Yeah, armpit fart.
Yeah. Just want you guys to know what he's doing.
Yeah, I know. We don't have the video, so this is... Yeah. We'll give you an audio description of my actions.
Oh, fuck, I lost my pen.
There he stood, glistening under the light, hand beneath his arm.
The effect of this noise is such that they who hear it has always burst out laughing. And to him, Glooskap was so affable. Securing from the woods a certain magic root, which, when eaten, would create the miracle the young man sought. But Glooskap warned him not to touch the root until he got home. Elated, the man thanked the Lord and left. And when they all needed to return home, yet only one man ever saw his lodge again. This was the hunter, who trudged through the woods with his pipe in his pocket and placed it in his heart, happy to know that as long as he lived, he would always have venison in his larder. But the man who loved women and yet had never won a wife was anxious to know whether Glooskap's magic would work. He hadn't gone very far into the woods before he opened the bag, and there flew out by the hundreds, like white doves swarming about him, beautiful girls with black, burning eyes and flowing hair.
I thought it was going to be bees.
Wild with...
just gave him a bag of bees. Yeah. Here you go. Take this fucker. Don't open it till you get home.
Wild with passion, they threw their arms around him and kissed him, and as he responded to their embrace. But they crowded thicker and thicker, wilder and more passionate, and he asked them to give him air, but they would not. And he tried to escape, but he could not. And so panting, crying for breath, he was smothered. And those who came that found him dead. But what became of the girls? No man knows.
They found him and he just got the hugest, just ear-to-ear Joker smile with two thumbs raised.
I got it all.
Ever.
Now the third Indian was merely along the path when all at once it flashed on his mind that Glooskap had given him a present. And without the least thought of Glooskap's warning, he drew out the root and ate it.
He is a total stoner. He's just walking back home. He's like, yeah, that was a fucking chill day, man. I went, oh, fuck, I met a god. He gave me a fucking thing.
Tell me where to find a root. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool, I got the munchies. I better fucking take a bite.
Scarcely had he done this before he realized that he had the power of uttering the weird and mystic sound to perfection. It rang over the hills and woke the distant echoes until it answered by a solemn owl, and the young man felt that it was indeed wonderful. So he walked on gaily, trumpeting as he went, happy as a bird. But by and by he began to feel weary of his performance. Seeing a deer, he drew an arrow, stole closer, and just as about to shoot it in spite of himself, the wild, unearthly sound broke forth like a demon's warble. The deer bounded away, and the young man cursed.
Fuck! God damn it.
By the time he reached Old Town half dead with hunger, he was not much to laugh over, though at first the Indians did chuckle, which cheered him up a little bit. But as the days went on, they wearied of his joke and began to avoid him. His unpopularity made him feel like his life was a burden, and he went into the woods and killed himself.
Jesus Christ on the end.
The end.
I imagine
right?
the comedy there of like him walking, it's like the same fart joke. He's like walks up by and everyone like, yeah, you guys see I have a barking spider? Like the first time he got some laughs, but he just keeps telling the same joke.
Same
like,
fucking thing.
Joke.
What is this?
Hey, did you guys hear about the fucking barking spider, Tom? Go kill yourself in the woods. Yeah. Oh, god damn. That took a hard turn at the end. And then he killed himself in the woods. What?
The end.
The end. Yeah, that was from the Algonquin tribe. Legend was reported in 1884 by Charles G. Leland. He definitely wasn't the one who wrote it, though. It was the Algonquin tribe. So fuck
Definitely.
off, Chuck.
Oh, we're going back to my
Story number 8. This one sounds like it could be a rap song. ALATC. Always living at the coast, bitches. By the Quaquiti tribe. Quiquittle? Is that an L at the end?
Yeah.
Quiquittle tribe.
The same one as the other one.
My
hometown, Vancouver Island.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
What? No,
Yeah.
really, what?
That's sorry.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. It was reported here in another dangerous amorous encounter, similar to that in the story Teeth in the Wrong Place.
Oh, Jesus. Are we going to have some badge teeth?
We are going to find out.
We are going to find out. But be careful where you put your fetuses.
Coyote was paddling his canoe down the coast when some people called out to him from the beach. Hey. Coyote, where you going? Coyote replies,
I'm going to marry the daughter of famous rapper always living at the coast. ALATC, bitches.
The people said, only crazy people would do that like that. And they made Coyote angry, and he paddled to the shore, and he turned all the people into birds, and then he turned the flock of birds into deer.
I like to imagine he let them take off first.
And then he departed.
He lets them get like 100 feet into the air, and he's like, now be deer, you sons of bitches.
And he departed and said,
You will be the deer that men need.
Oops. I knew that was one.
Turn into deer, you little sons of bitches, and fall from the sky around me as I row my boat.
Soon he passed some other people who were standing on the beach, and they asked,
show your tits.
Oh, Coyote, were you headed there? And he told them. And they said, oh, you should watch out then. The bones of those who have tried to marry this woman are piled up high. Coyote appreciated their concern, and he came ashore and put mussels and salmon into the water, which is why you still go to this place to find those things today.
Muscle Beach.
A while later, some other people called out to him, asking him where he was going, and he told them. And the chief then said,
be careful, Coyote. All my young women are men, and they have gone there to marry this woman as well. And not one of them has come back, nor is a single goose that I sent to the bottom of the lake.
Coyote came ashore and filled the waters along the beach with mussels and gave the people roasted salmon to eat. At a place called Copper Bottom. Do you know where that is?
It's a strip club.
Coyote,
It's a seedy strip club. Welcome to Copper Bottoms.
Coyote put ashore again and walked through the woods to a village where he saw an old woman steaming clover roots.
Oh.
The old woman was blind. Or excuse me, she wasn't old. Oh, yeah, I guess she is old. The old woman was blind, but right away, because she could smell him, she said, "Hey, Coyote, what are you doing here?" And he reached over and took a handful of clover roots to eat. She says, "What's this? What's taking my clover roots?" Coyote says,
"Can't you see, woman?"
The woman explained that she was blind, and then Coyote took some pine gum and chewed it and then spit it into the woman's eyes and then asked,
"Well, can you see now? I've heard that was a remedy."
And she said, "Oh, yeah. Well, there you are. Your 50-foot penis."
Just swinging it around like a helicopter.
Coyote told her where he was going, and she told him to be careful and gave him some food to take with him. Coyote went on until he came to a woman working on a canoe. He went over and pinched the feet of her baby, and the baby began to cry, and the woman said, "Don't you fucking touch my child. He's never cried." She went back to working on the canoe and clipping at the inside, but she cut a hole through the bottom. The coyote asked,
"Look what you're doing. Look what you've done. Are you blind?"
The woman answered, "Yeah, asshole, I am."
"Well, now I feel like a total prick. Can I rub some goo in your eyes?"
Coyote chewed some pine gum and spat it into her eyes, and then she could see. The woman asked, "Where are you going?" Coyote says,
"I'm going off to marry the daughter of world-famous Grammy-nominated rapper ALATC, always living at the coast, bitches."
The woman says, "You should be careful with her. She has teeth in her vagina. This is how she kills all the young men who come to see her. Take my stone chisel, and when you go to bed with her, stick it up there and break all the fucking teeth off."
Well, good news for her. I have carrots for my penis.
The woman rubbed Coyote's back with a stone and gave him a mask of the wren, the deer, the mountain goat, and the grizzly bear. Coyote put on a mask that made him look older and went into the country of always living at the coast, where he sat down by a river. He had not been there long before the man's daughter, death-bringing woman, came by with her friends and saw him. She said,
She's a famous rapper, too.
"Yep."
Yeah. "And future, he would make a good slave. Let's take him with us."
And so they take Coyote back to the camp with them. That night, death-bringing woman asked Coyote to sleep with her. Coyote could hear the sounds of the grinding teeth coming from under her clothes. And when he got into bed with her, he heard the sound of rattling snakes. He pushed the stone chisel in and twisted it sharply and broke all the teeth off in death-bringing woman's vagina.
"Now I'm gonna need a vagina dentist."
And then Coyote took off his mask, and he was the coyote, and he had come to marry her, and they slept together.
Just let me pull all these loose teeth out of here.
It's like sharp shards as you fucking going in there, dude. Oh my God. That's like
It's
eating
so much
glass
worse
in your
than when it
vagina.
was just regular teeth. They're all broken and sharp now.
Fuck. Imagine getting your wisdom teeth out and like those little fucking shards that come out, dude. Oh,
Imagine
shit.
getting your wisdom teeth out in your vagina.
And if you can't picture it out of the vagina, think about it coming out of your butthole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, butthole teeth. That's a normal thing, though.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can't envision that, like...
If you can't envision that,
If
or you
you
don't
have-
want to try, envision a butthole instead. It's the healthy thing to do.
Or like, you know, your penis where like the hole is. Could actually,
Ow!
like, a little-
That's enough. That's far enough.
Sorry.
We've gone far enough.
Sorry. We did.
We t-
I did.
Break your teeth off, women.
Also, I'm lost.
Your lady teeth.
The next night, they arrived at the house of Always Living at the Coast. That night, Always Living at the Coast heard laughing coming from his daughter's bedroom. He got up from his bed and came into her room and asked,
Yo, who's that you're living with, my daughter? Laughing with?
She said,
Oh, this is my husband. Welcome him.
Always Living at the Coast welcomed Coyote and returned to his room. The next morning, Always Living at the Coast split some cedar and stripped the bark and made a snare trap. Then he went into his daughter's bedroom and said,
Son-in-law, I want you to jump through that door into the center of the house.
Coyote put on his deer mask and jumped through the door of the room right into the trap where the deer died. The old man said,
It serves the motherfucker right coming into my house and embarrassing me like this.
But Coyote took off the mask of the deer and went back into his wife's room. The next night, the old man heard his daughter laughing again. And the next morning, he made another cedar bark trap and told his son-in-law to jump through the door into the center of the house. Coyote put on the mask of the mountain goat and jumped into the trap where he died at once. But when the old man went out, Coyote took off the mask of the mountain goat and returned to his wife. That night, Always Living at the Coast heard sounds of two people making love again, and he called out,
Hey, motherfucker, what's going on in there?
She answered,
My husband?
The next morning, the old man did as he had done before, making a trap and telling his son-in-law to jump into the dimness where it was concealed. This time, Coyote put on the mask of the grizzly bear and went out into the other room and crushed the trap. Then he sat down to eat. The old man was still thinking how he might kill his son-in-law, and he asked Coyote to go with him by canoe across the inlet to the other shore, where they began work on another canoe. Coyote and the old man paddled across the water and went into the woods, where they felled a tree and began splitting the log. Coyote took up some alder wood and chewed on it while he worked. They were working along like this when Always Living at the Coast suddenly dropped his hammer into the split. He asked Coyote, who was smaller, to go down into the crack and get the hammer. When Coyote went in, the old man quickly knocked out the wedges holding the split up, and Coyote spit out the alder wood, which looked like blood, and the old man thought his son-in-law was dead. He said,
Serves him right for thinking he could marry my daughter.
And left. Coyote put on the mask of the wren and flew up out of the crack. He caught up with Always Living at the Coast and said,
Why did you leave me behind, father-in-law, papa-in-law? The log closed up and I was almost trapped, daddy dearest.
Always Living at the Coast says,
Aw, shit. Yeah. I'm super glad to see you. I was sad when I thought you died. I was going home to tell my daughter I thought you were dead. But I'm glad you got out. I didn't think it was possible, but fuck it, why not, right?
They both got into the old man's canoe and started paddling towards home. Coyote was chewing a piece of wood. When it was soft, he took it out, carved it into the shape of a killer whale, and threw it into the water. And he said,
You will be the killer whales of future generations. Go free, my orca minions.
Free Willy,
Let the willies free.
I believe I can fly.
Hey, that song aged poorly.
Just then, a killer whale came up out of the water and snatched Always Living at the Coast out of the canoe. When he got home, Death-Bringing Woman asked him where her father was, and Coyote said he didn't know. Later, that woman had a son. And one morning, Coyote took his son and went away. The end. Dick.
And that's actually a true account of how the East Coast, West Coast rap war started in the 90s. Yeah. You didn't know it was about killer whales, did you? That one was reported by old Barry Lopez, 1977. Quaquitl tribe. Quaquitl tribe. On to our final story, the last story.
The 50-foot penis.
The 50-foot donger just dangling, just helicoptering around, but big enough that you could actually fly. Wow, that's insane to think that is actually big enough that you could helicopter it around and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a silly...
That is a silly thing, but it's also a true fact. So,
That is not a true fact.
you'd have to go real fast, but it's long enough that you could get the... Coyote and the Mallard Ducks. From the Nez Perce tribe. Go ahead, Kimbo. Take her away.
Did I tell you about the Nez Perce? The Nez Perces are French for the pierced nose. They got their name from their custom of wearing a piece of dentellum shell through their septum. Mm-hmm. They belong to the semi-nomadic plateau culture, roaming over the dry high countries of Idaho and eastern Oregon and eastern Washington.
Yeah. Pacific Northwest.
They're known for their generosity and skills in breeding the famous Appaloosa horses.
Appaloosas?
Anyway, Coyote and the Mallard Ducks. Coyote was traveling upriver when he saw 5 mallard duck girls swimming on the other side. He hid himself in the bushes and became aroused right away.
Jesus.
Then he thought out a plan to satisfy himself. Coyote lengthened his penis and let it fall into the river. It floated on top of the river, but Coyote didn't like this. So he pulled it back and tied a rock to it to keep it below the surface.
I need a weight to keep it down.
Hashtags fishing for dicks.
Fishing with my dick. Fishing for ducks.
He didn't like this, so he pulled it back and tied a rock to it to keep it below the surface of the water. He threw his penis back in and tried a smaller rock to it. This one was just right. It floated just below the surface of the water where no one could see it. He sent it across where the girls were swimming and began copulating with one of the oldest girls.
Just the effort. No, that's too heavy of a weight. Reel it back in. Reel it back. Yeah, that's the perfect weight. I should put a little fly on it, too.
Now, these girls did not know what was wrong with their older sister. The way she was moving around in the water and making strange sounds. Then they saw what was happening and they grabbed the penis and tried to pull it out. When they couldn't, they got it out on the bank and held down their older sister and tried to pull it out that way. But they couldn't, and they began laughing about it.
She's like, no.
When Coyote had satisfied himself, he called over the girls and said,
My sisters, what is the problem over there?
They told him, and he said, sorry.
Cut the thing off with some wire grass.
Ow.
And they did. And Coyote cut the other end off where he was, and the middle section of the penis fell into the river and became a ledge. The eldest girl became ill then. Coyote went down to the river a short distance, swam across, and then came upstream to the girls' camp, where the oldest girl was almost dead. Damn.
Damn, bro. What did you do to her? It's the HIV. Let's be honest. Coyote hasn't been clean. We've been listening to the stories. He's not once used perfection.
No. The girls recognized Coyote and said,
Oh, Coyote, the medicine man is good.
They asked him to cure the sick girl. He told them that he would do it, but they had to close up all the chinks in the lodge so no one could see in and steal his medicine by watching. He told them to leave him alone with the girl for a while. He got up, he got the sisters together around the lodge and told them to sing a song to keep time on a log with sticks. He said,
Keep time on the log with sticks. Very carefully, for I am going to take it out.
Coyote began singing,
I'll stick it back on, I'll stick it back on.
And he went into the lodge and copulated again with the mallard duck girl, and then recovered the end of his penis. The girl was cured. And after that, everyone said the medicine of Coyote was very powerful.
He's got that dick medicine.
Yeah, but apparently it fucking causes radioactive.
He's the only one who can cure you. Yeah, but he's the one who gave me this.
Well, it's bad to have a 15-hour-long orgasm, I'm sure.
Yeah, or like a foot of dick stuck inside you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was told by Barry Lopez. That's Pierce Tribe. Our main references: American Indian Myths and Legends, a book, selected and edited by Richard Iridos and Alfonso Ortiz. Yep. Hope you guys had fun. It's a bit of a long one, a bit longer than normal, but just like coyotes, sometimes you just don't know where to cut it off.
I'm sorry, Tricksters, man. I know.
Ooh, that's this. Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
yeah. Hope you folks enjoyed tonight's episode. We'll be coming at you next week with some more goodies. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, drop a review if you're listening anywhere that you can review us. That really helps us. Even if you just put the word mediocre with a Mad Max face or something,
Buy me
I
some
want to know
coffee.
what you people think. I want to know what you think, what you feel. I want to be inside. No, wait, sorry. Wow. Your
God
minds. I want to see what you think.
Thank God they're not mallard ducks, huh?
Thank God you're not a duck. But if you are, I mean no offense.
My 50-foot penis is going there.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Hashtag fishing for dicks.
Fishing with dicks, fishing for dicks. Let us know which one you think is better. And have a good
Check out
night.
our merch.
Yeah, check out our merch. We've got some new merch.
Yeah.
Teespring.com, teespring.com /
Hi
dash mythology dash merch. Get some. On that note, good night.
Bye.